People think relationships are all about love. No, relationship is an enormous amount of management. If you don't manage it, it will die. Most love affairs are like this, only first few days it is joy, after that only anxiety. Some total disaster, all right? I would like to give you a key where you can turn your emotions sweet by yourself without anybody's help. Are you interested?
It's like a button these days that you get to meet someone, you fall in love, and then you say, no, this is not the right person. And now you fall with the person another. So what exactly is true love? And can real love really happen twice, thrice? So I was really wanting to understand this.
See, there is something called as love and there's something called as a relationship, all right? Relationship happens between two people. That's a different matter, it's a transaction of a certain nature. What level of relationship? Unfortunately today, if you utter the word relationship, people are thinking all body-based relationships only. No. If you have a brother or a sister, you have a relationship with them. But this doesn't mean it's body-based. You have parents, you have relationship with them, you have friends, you have relationship with them. Well, you have all these radio people, you have a relationship with them. All the people that you talk to, you have a relationship with them. So, it is not necessary the word relationship has to be hijacked by only body-based relationships. But unfortunately, that's how it is being used in this generation. It was not being used like that when we were growing up, but today relationship means people think you are having an affair with somebody. So, a relationship is a different matter because it involves 2 or 3 or 10 people. Right now, all of you have some kind of a relationship here. This is a group of people having a relationship, a family is a group of people having a relationship, all right? So, that is a transactional matter. Transactions can go right, can go wrong, any transaction. However well cultivated it is, sometimes it goes wrong, sometimes it goes wonderfully well, because in transactions 2 different people or 10 different people are involved. Even if the transaction is only between 2 people, the rest of the world in some way is participating in the transaction. Many times, human relationships are destroyed not because of the 2 people, because of the 3rd, 4th person somewhere else who will do something else to it, okay? So, these things happen. But now, talking about love, let's separate love from relationship. Love is what happens within you. Relationship is something that you do in the world. What you do in the world is always subject to various forces. Whatever transaction we do in the world is subject to various realities. Once you're involved in the world, something happens right, something doesn't happen right, because it's a whole lot of management. People think relationships are all about love. No, relationship is an enormous amount of management. If you don't manage it, it will die. If you don't manage it, it'll crash. But love is what happens within you. This is not subject to external forces. But right now, people are allowing it to be that way, unfortunately. But actually, what happens within you, the sweetness of your emotion should not be determined by somebody else, isn't it? What happens within you must be determined by you. What happens in the world, you can't determine everything. You have some role, but there are so many people playing a role in that. Or if there are 2 people, the other person also has a 50% role in that. So how they will take it, what will happen, situations, variety of things are there. But what happens within you must happen the way you want. So, what you call as love is something that happens within you. But unfortunately, people have told you love is in the air. That means it's a polluted air, it must be in Delhi. Even Delhi is having pure air these days, that's what they're telling me. I've not been there though for some time So, it is not in the air, it is something that's happening within you. Your emotions have taken to a sweet form, for whatever reason. So now you're using an external stimuli, you're using the other person as a key to turn your emotions sweet. I would like to give you a key where you can turn your emotions sweet by yourself without anybody's help. Are you interested? Huh? That you keep your emotions always sweet and the key is in your hand. Once you give the key to somebody else, only anxiety will happen, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen. Most love affairs are like this, only first few days it is joy, after that only anxiety. Some total disaster, all right? It depends on how much sense they have. But essentially, what happens within you must be determined by you. What happens around you in the world is never 100% determined by you, let this be understood. You can never ever determine what happens around you absolutely by yourself. Even if it's just two people, you cannot determine that because the other person will do their own thing. If somebody has the key for this, not you, sometimes they'll open it, sometimes they'll lock it and throw away the key. Then you say, love is a disaster. Love is not a disaster. Relationships can always become disasters, unfortunately, but it need not be seen that way. It is just that sometimes human relationships will not work, not necessarily between a man and woman, this and that. Even between brothers it will not work, between sisters it will not work, between parents and children it will not work, between friends it will not work, is it not true? In so many ways it doesn't work. But now when you have this unrealistic idea that somebody else should create sweetness of emotion within you, then you will definitely torture that person, definitely that person will be missing tomorrow morning. So, this must be understood. Love is your prerogative. You must be loving. What does it matter? Who is here, who is not here, what does it matter? Your emotions being sweet is very vital for the blossoming of the individual that you are. If you want to grow in your intelligence, if you want to grow in your capability, if you want to function in the world in a most effective manner, your emotion should be always sweet.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. So, I'm saying that the idea of competition is so much ingrained in our minds, not even at the school level, but even at the postgraduate level or any aspect of our lives, that it creates a lot of unnecessary stress. So, what can be really done about it?
Competition is a good thing. If you're incompetent and you're in competition, you will feel stressed. So, if you want to be in a competitive situation, the thing is you have to work on your competence. Right now the problem is, you're tweaking your desire, you're not tweaking your competence. This is what has to happen, that we must teach children to tweak their competence, not their desire. We are calling this ambition, we are calling this goal-orientedness. Ambition means what? You tweaked up your desire, you'll suffer invariably. If you tweak up your competence, you will see wherever you go, you're doing better than what people expect you to, so naturally things will go well for you. Competition is not the bad thing, lack of competence is the bad. We must understand this. In this country, this is very important because we still think our education is cooked in heaven. Because people tell me temples are crowded just before the examination. Just the wrong place to be. Just the wrong place to be. When your examination is coming, you sitting in the temple is just the wrong place to be. In the vacation, you sat in the temple, great. So instead of competence, we have big desires. If you focus enough on enhancing your competence, you will see there is such joy in breaking limitations every day and becoming something better. You don't care a damn how somebody else is doing. Yes, if every day, if you're breaking limitations, when I was speaking to the I think our home school, I was telling them, a class full of children should sound like eggs are hatching. No, at one time I used to do sericulture, silk farming. And I was amazed. I was so amazed I didn't take them to the market sometimes. Because if you just leave the cocoon long enough, if you don't take it to the market, you should see how it opens up. Like this, it'll be making noise. Slowly they're opening it up. When 1,000,000 of them are trying to open, you go inside this room. This is how a school should sound. That every moment they're breaking their limitations. If you are breaking the limitations of who you are, if your competence, you're working constantly to expand, you don't even have the time to look at somebody, how is he doing? Because this is such a great thing happening within you. So please focus on your competence. Competition, you don't bother. If you're good, you'll be on the top, otherwise you'll be somewhere. It's okay
India is the only place where our gods must dance. If he cannot dance, he cannot be a god. Shiva is Nataraja, he is the king of dancers, and everybody else is a dancer. Why this is because the phenomena of creation. The closest analogy you can give to that is it's like a dance. Today modern physicists are using those words, that things seem to be in a dance. Dance means there seems to be no logical coherence to it, but if you observe it closely enough, there is a very deep system to the whole process.
This dance of creation, which self created itself from the eternal stillness, in trying to represent the exuberance of creation, we call this dimension as Natesha or Nataraja, which is one of the most significant forms of Shiva.
Because creation is a dance, we said the divine is a dancer. So when we say Shiva is Nataraja, we are not talking about an individual dancing. That is why the circle around him. The circle is always the symbol of cosmos, because the most natural form that happens in the existence when anything moves is a circle. Anything that happens by itself is a circle. The planet is a circle, the moon is a circle, the sun is a circle, everything else is a circle, because circle is a shape of least resistance. So that is why the circle around Nataraja is symbolizing the cosmos. He is a cosmic dancer, that's how he's always described. You can experience the dance, or you can become the dance. You can experience the aesthetic of the dance by simply watching it closely, or you can dance. But you want to understand the dance, there is no such thing. These are only two choices you have. If you experience the beauty of the dance by observation, by looking, we will say you are a seeker. You may be called a scientist, but still you're a seeker, you want to know what it is, so you're paying attention. If you pay attention to it, you become a seeker. If you become the dance, you become the divine, you become a yogi. Choice you have.